Welcome to Your Known Unknown, where Source and I will help to shed light on what's unknown to you. Welcome to another day. We woke up in a mood today that I just can't explain. It's a different day, one of those days where you wake up in the same mood and then you're like, wait, it's like the same life, but I just feel different. I don't know. Not bad, not good, but different. So anyways, I hope y'all had a smoother rising. Anyways, let's get to it. Let's into it. Let's pull some cards and see what message we have today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We have the Five of Wands reversed. We have the Empress reversed. Oh wow. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And we have the Three of Swords reversed. It's just another day. Just another day, another dollar. But you're progressing. We are progressing. I think we're doing pretty good. These energies kind of express a resilience from within that is allowing you to adapt as you're growing. Your perception shifts as well. You understand that what makes a regular day is simply context. What makes an extravagant day is simply context. Here, as human beings, we work diligently. You're pretty comfortable with where you're going, with what you're doing. The comfortability is the detriment, but it's not the end game, and it's not an answer. We're constantly wanting to strive forward towards clearer horizons, more wealthy and financially stable horizons. You're kind of seeing that it does take one step at a time. You've gotten over these aspects of feeling like you need to compete, or like your work. When you get a new job, you got to spend a while really getting the feel of the new job, right? And all of a sudden one day, it's kind of like you've been there long enough, and just the routine of the business and days and like the ideas, they just click, and now you're a part of it. I feel like I've seen that within myself a lot. When I start new jobs, it's always, what it turned into once being an observer came into the picture is, okay, how long is it going to take for me to understand everything about this place that I need to understand in order to be a part of the team, in order to be a part of the flow of this business, like to literally be an integral bone in the structure of the business workings, right? Like, how long until I am secure? How long until I can do my job with my fucking eyes closed? Huh? And for me, I'm a pretty quick learner, so that was a while ago, which was really nice. Everybody learns in their own ways. Everybody also has their own jobs and blah, blah, blah. But here's the other fun thing. We're having aha moments every day, and here's what context makes our days extravagant. It's in here, and it's in here, and it's in here, right? How you perceive, what you're perceiving. And then in hindsight, you're going, what a good day. What a good day. You know, I can't really remember the last bad day that I had at this point. I've had tough days. There are days that are tough. There are days where I get snappy. There are days where I get low, but they're not bad days. And I'm not being cute with saying that. I'm just like, ultimately, it wasn't a bad day. There were good parts within that day. You know, it just wasn't a day full of shit and despair and nothing happened. No. Yesterday, maybe I didn't do everything I wanted to do, but shit, I got one step closer to getting everything. You know, I started. That's always something. 5:55 on the clock. And you are seeing that. You're the Eight of Pentacles is the only upright card here, and it's in a really structurally sound position to support Three of Swords reversed, moving forward. Like, you're accepting. And maybe even the Pentacles doesn't have to resonate with you. The card doesn't have to resonate with you specifically to describe you as a person. It's saying, like, the energy here has allowed an acceptance of past failures to finally push you and light the fire within to show you what you can accomplish. You know, there always used to be this thing in me. When I was growing up, I never really understood how guys, like, when they'd get broken up with or get their heart broken, how they just get so angry and get fueled and go to the gym and get jacked. It never... I was like, what is this? Like, why when I get broken up with, I feel sad. I don't want to do anything. Like, I didn't click. And it actually took a few learning lessons, failed relationships, for me to kind of get it, to kind of understand what mindset it took to be like, I'm going to the gym. You know? It took shifts. It took acceptance. It took a change of my own inner workings to make something like that happen. And even for that, I'm so grateful. So therefore, how has that relationship really failed? Even, like, there's just so much acceptance. Like, how has that relationship even really failed? Is a failed relationship really a failed relationship? Sounds like, if you're an aware to a degree, an observer to a degree, you learn lessons, and you're still learning these lessons. You have learned these lessons through the battles. You've understood, again, there are no bad days. There are only days and how you perceive them, and or really the only thing that makes a bad day is you're in a shitty mood. And as an observer, you are aware of that. And so you take a step back. You just are like, all right, I'm in a shitty mood. Why? You know, what am I going to do to let it out? And you do whatever you can do to maneuver with that, to maneuver it. You're a pretty damn good alchemist to that degree. You are accepting of your emotions, and you know now, full-heartedly, who, how, why, where, and what, and why is an opportune, authentic moment for you to connect with others at the right time, when you're in the right time, when you're in the right frequency, the right flow, right? Growing up. And not only that, there is this dignity about you too, and strength and discipline within you too, that allows you to accept these kinds of categories, like authority, creative authority over your reality. What if you didn't have that? What if you had to do what you were told to create because something else said you're gonna like it, and you're like, but you can either fall in love with it, which I'm trying to, I'm like trying to fall in love with it first, which is the problem. There's the procrastination, versus jump into it, get your hands a little dirty, and see what can come from it. Maybe it's not the answer, and that's cool. Maybe it is the answer. That's even cooler. But this creative authority, you're accepting the pains of the past, the heartaches of the past. Not only just the heartaches, like the actual ones that really happened, but the self-induced ones. You're getting an understanding how your toxicity shaped your frame of mind. It's not like you're understanding that now. It's like you've been realizing that step by step over time, the whole path, the whole journey. It's really culminating right now. It's really letting go right now. There must be something going on with the stars. If I was more in tune with the astrology and able to explain it better, we would probably see some kind of pattern going on, some kind of planetary shift that is allowing a free flow of integral work to flow through. And it doesn't have to be work. It doesn't have to be your job work. It can be. And it most likely is, because we spend a lot of our time there. But it's like this integral discipline and opening at the same time. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of like masculine and feminine are working together to open up a portal, a gateway within you that is becoming very available. You're just kind of being hopscotched right into it. Interesting. That was an interesting channel. I was not expecting anything like that to come out at all. King of Cups. Yeah. And the Queen of Cups. Lover's energy. Playing off the last reading I just did yesterday. Wow. So look, we have the Queen and the King of Cups. It's like you're learning that you did miss opportunities. You're learning that this functioning game of life, this would've, should've, could've toxic mentality is applicable, but not definitive. Meaning, yeah, you might have shot yourself in the foot a few times in life, and that led you down a path. But again, all these paths, you take all these paths in life. Here's your life has this one path, and you can take all these different roads to get there. And you took a lot of different roads to get there. Oh, shit. You might have done a lot of what I did, which was, I'm going to learn what not to do first. And you're still standing upright. Supportive energy, Page of Swords. Again, you're it's like your overthinking is saving the day. Yes, at a detriment to your stress levels and hormones and adrenal glands and hair and stuff, but You're learning to counteract that. You're learning to balance. You're not just sitting so far one way. Your body, your being, your physiological self, the way you grow, the way you wear your emotions, the way you are yourself externally, even mentally, or something. They're being expressed differently, consciously, differently consciously, consciously differently, but full-heartedly nonetheless. And I mean full-heartedly, not like in an inward to outward expression. Full-heartedly as in like robust, authentically, boldly, honestly, acceptingly. That just keeps coming to me. There's something about you that is accepting a piece of you that is a splinter being removed, and that festering little son of a gun has just been waiting to be cleaned out, taken care of. My ear's ringing right now. And that's motivational. That's a good reason to push forward and to keep trying to do what you're doing at whatever cost it takes, by whatever means necessary, to keep persevering and keep pushing forward for yourself, for your goals, for your dreams, your newfound dreams. You finally found out what it's like to have a goal and a dream in this new fucking aware observer mentality that you've had to learn how to navigate. Somehow you asked for it, but in this lifetime, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask how to become this. I didn't ask to go through what I went through to get to this, but we still ask for things. And they give us things in return. God, give me the strength that I require. Okay. We'll put you through some shit, and you will culminate some strength. You will cure some strength. Dear God, I want to know all the answers. And I want to know how to honestly be the person who can uphold knowing these answers. Okay, we're going to teach you a lot of core freaking principles that are going to later on be known as, dark nights of the soul, ego deaths, downloads, transitions, changes, blah, blah, blah. You're going to get some weird ass thoughts. You're going to think you're absolutely crazy, and then once you understand that you're sane, oh, there's your thoughts, there's your lessons. What are you going to do with them now? Are you going to go tarnish them? Are you going to go share them? Are you going to go do everything against my will, God says? And you're like, I don't know, I got these newfound powers and I'm going to go crazy with them, right? God's like, all right, I guess they got to find their place. And you're kind of past that rambunctiousness. It's kind of, I guess, where I'm leading up with that. You're kind of accepting of your placement, of your category, of your alignment, what's been gifted to you. You're like, this is manageable. This is a new baseline of comfortable. They say, like, you don't want to cycle, you want to spiral, right? And within that spiral, as it goes like this, you're never really just staying stagnant. You're never really just going up and down either. And you think that when you're at rock bottom, your life is shit. But really, as a person, you're constantly going like this, up and up and up and up and up. It's just up, and then, boom, and then you go up again. And so you're at a new baseline. You're at a new level of default. Congratulations. I'd say that's what we consider to be leveling up. It comes with responsibilities as well. It comes with new opinions, new formed crystallizations that define our perceptions and how we view the world. So yes, it will come with more challenges, more neuroreceptors you have to tie together, and some you got to break. And transmitters, receptors, neurons. You know, maybe it's time to start microdosing some mushrooms or something. I don't know. I don't take that on my recommendation, YouTube. Nope. Nope. That's just me. I'm no doctor. I'm just rambling. Maybe it's time to kick it up a notch in the routine a little bit and gift yourself a new pleasurable discipline. You know, turns out I really like hamstring stretches. Who knew? I used to hate them. But then one day I was told I need a better relationship with my legs. I was told I need a better relationship with my legs years ago. I didn't really get what that meant, but it's always kind of sat on my mind, and I'm really glad that I'm starting to get a better relationship with my legs, giving them more connection, more flexibility. You know, they deserve it. Do your legs deserve it? Maybe you should give them some more training, some more appreciation. They're so far away, you know? Same thing with feet, same thing with hands, same thing with insides. Those are far away too. Your heart, it's far away. You have to seek it. You have to be silent and hear it. It's kind of like pretty much everything but your eyes. Like your oculars in your brain. Anyways, I'm rambling. So like acceptance, realizing that, hey, this is where you're at, but it is what you make it. And do you see how you can make it now? 7 of Wands with the Emperor. Oh, okay. You are so vigilantly ready to see what's to come. And with the Patience card coming out last time as well, this journey, this portion of your journey has required you to embody some virtues like patience and perseverance and resilience. Strength, justice, judgment, the world, right? You've had to be living these games, these archetypes, these layers, and you've been aware enough to break them down and to dissect them mentally, to understand at the same time how you feel through every thought. And it's giving you this newfound baseline default of looking forward into the future of your life and being willing to fight for what you want to do. Because you're not going to fight, you're just super strategic. You won the mental battle. You fought the mental battle. You acquired all these tools. And you are carrying all of these damn tools up the hill. But I mean, you're doing it. You're gonna do it. You're so strong. You're doing it. You're taking all these tools with you. The time is now to apply them. Take them home. Dissect them. See how they help the others. Start to do what others are really doing, because it works for them. And if you haven't really tried much, then you don't really know where to start. And you're so willing to start everywhere. So don't let that get overwhelming to you. Don't turn that reality down into a 7 of Cups, right? Don't have too many irons in the fire. We go one at a time. You don't lay all the tools that you just gathered on the table and go, what do they all do? And expect one answer, right? You got to look at each one. You got to fiddle fart around with each one. You got to dick around and see what it does and what it can be used for. And chances are you're going to use it wrong. You know, imagine the first dude that probably saw a hammer and was like, probably held onto the head of it and was like, what do I do with this stupid stick? What is this stupid handle for? You know, without a little context, without a little instruction, without a little how to, you don't know how to. And that's okay too, because we're just playing. That is what you're here to learn, is that we're just playing. Just the rules of the game say in order to play it costs money. In order to play, you got to get married. In order to play, you got to have kids, and you got to live this life and be the routine and eat eggs and sausage for breakfast and steak and potatoes at night. The fuck ever, dude. I want to play this game kind of as long as I can, because the further along it gets, the more in control of the controller I get, the more chances my big brother is going to let me be player one today. You know, I just want to be player one. That's it. Instead, I had an ego death, and now I'm down one. I'm down one life. No more one-ups. So, anyways, this is the message. I hope it's motivational. I hope it's realistic. I hope it's neutral. So neutral, we find God in the middle of the emotional spectrum, right where peace lies, and we can find some peace and resonance within our balance. And I hope that our sways and balance on the pendulums slow up and become more in our control, your control. I'm gonna go to work. See, like, even this is work, but I love this. Even that over there is work. I kind of love that too. When I go home, it's going to be more work, and I like that too. And it's not because it's work. That's just what it's called. It's because it's progress. It's because it's school. It's discipline training. It's every experience is a test. And I mean, you are the master of your reality, you know. Put it in whatever kind of context you want, perceive the world in whatever context you want, but ultimately, if you're not enjoying what you're experiencing, it's because it's what you want. And it's because it's what you're giving it. It's because you don't know how to give it really to get what you want. And that's okay. That's the challenge in life. That's where we learn. That's why we grow. That's why we figure it out. That's why we do self-development work and introspective work and all that crap. It's why we think. It's why we feel. So take a deep breath with me if you would like. I'm going to disconnect from the channel. Thank you. And I hope you all have a wonderful, fulfilling day. What if today's the day we die? If I die at work, what else would I expect, right? Anyways, I'm gonna go. I love you, and I thank you so much. And until next time.